20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weak...
It's about tradition, values, and family ties. Pucklet Chevrolet GMC's tradition of giving back to our community remains a priority, and that's why we've partnered with many local nonprofit organizations and events. And our tradition of giving this community a fair and honest offer continues. This month, save up to $10,102 on a new 23 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT. We're Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. GMC, we are professional grade.
See dealer for details and 43024.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:06 in the afternoon on this Tuesday, March 19th. Our first, well, it's not the first official day of spring because spring doesn't start till 10:06 tonight, but tomorrow will be the first full official day of spring, and it just won't feel like it. Guys, how's your day going?
Nicer than it will be tomorrow.
It's going good so far.
And a heck of a lot nicer than it will be on Thursday or this weekend.
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Well, you aren't getting anything where you're at, but
I might get something.
Get a little bit. You get a little bit, but I'll tell you what.
It's something.
Something's better than nothing. In fact, speaking of moisture, blowing dust has been a big problem from Grafton on southward as there hasn't been, well, obviously there's no snow on the ground, and this wind has dried off that top layer of soil, and that's really starting to blow things around. So there's been some reports of reduced visibility in the far northern valley and out towards Grafton, and just be careful if you're out and about on some of those secondary roads out there, especially the east-west roads. Now, that won't be a problem, hopefully, as we get into the weekend, as we're expecting to see more precip heading our way. And I'll tell you what, some of these snowfall totals that we're seeing on our computer models are just, they're borderline ridiculous. But what it's showing us is that some much-needed moisture is heading not only in our area, but areas down to the south in South Dakota, southern Minnesota, where it's been extremely dry over the last 30 to 40 days. So that is good news there. Even if it is in the form of snow, we're finally going to get some much-needed moisture. This is kind of the wet part of our LRC cycle, and those are one of the things that we'll be discussing tomorrow, 2 p.m. on the Jay Thomas Show. And mark that on your calendars. We'll have our LRC Spring and Summer Outlook. What does it look like for this coming spring and summer for our ag community? And what about for the key dates like the 4th of July, Memorial Day, WeFest, Red River Valley Fair? We'll be going down all those key dates. And if that, let you know, will that be part of the stormy cycle of the LRC, or will it be a warmer and drier trend on some of those key dates? So, and I think, Justin, when you're the one that always says every time on the 4th of July weekend, we always get some rain out of it.
That and as well Labor Day. Labor Day, definitely.
Yeah.
I would point out that Memorial Day, usually Memorial Day, and honestly, for everybody who says, oh, I can't wait to get to the lake on Memorial Day, why?
It's cold.
It's always cold.
Well, the water is
It hasn't
anyway.
warmed up yet.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I think it's just to get to the lake and knowing that summer is around the corner. I think this year's going to be a little different around Memorial Day since the ice is out now, so we don't have to, we're already going to get a head start on the water temps, hopefully being a little warmer. So hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate.
Yeah, hopefully that's
It'd be
not
great
an
if
issue
she
with
did.
algae blooms this year.
Based on what the whole season looks like right now, we could actually have the vast majority of our crop planted well before Memorial Day this year. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it's an option.
I can see it happening.
I think a lot of people are going to get out into the fields early this year. Especially they're going to want to
maybe
compared to the last couple where they weren't able to get out probably when they wanted to. And a couple years ago, I think they were nervous that they weren't going to get in at all.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we will too, because don't forget, we're ready to go with Here We Grow 2024. We are now custom farming corn this year, 20 acres of corn north of Glendon, Minnesota. We are going to kick that off, well, when planting season is ready. And we're going to put that corn in the ground and see what happens. But you can follow along with us on all of our social media channels as we watch our corn for 2024. We'll probably have to do a bushels yield contest somewhere as we go through the season. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but I bet we'll have to start some guesses at some point, guys.
I'm surprised Justin hasn't come out with a guess yet. He was all jumping on it last year.
250.
250. Okay.
250.
How about you wait until we do a little bit of education on that first?
I don't need education. 250. Again, we're going big or going home.
Oh boy.
Well, okay.
Well, we see how he did
There
last
you go.
year, remember?
I think it's in the realm of possibility.
Well, I'm not saying it isn't within the realm, but for 250 corn here, we got to hit a lot of things absolutely perfectly. And I'm not sure we're there
We can
yet.
do that.
We'll see, though.
Well, Shark Farmer, he said last year didn't he say they had a bumper crop or a record crop? But he didn't say
They raised one of their best.
Yeah, he didn't say how much, did he? I don't recall him saying how much. Okay. All right. Well, go ahead, Bridgette.
And we had a number of our farmers here who said the same thing, that coming out of last year when it was a little drier, they still saw a great crop, and many will tell you, I don't know where that crop came from. Well, it did significantly well. It doesn't matter where it came from. Maybe this weekend, maybe the next few days are going to bring us some extra moisture. What do you think?
Absolutely. In fact, not today, though, so much. We've got a lot of clouds around the area right now, and temperatures in generally the low to mid-30s, and we're really not going to go far. We're going to stay pretty much steady, close to the mid-30s. Some spots could hit the upper 30s with a northwest wind at 15 to 30, adding a little bite to that air. Tonight, we'll start to break the clouds apart, and we'll drop down to a low near 10 with a northwest wind at 10 to 20. And for Wednesday, look for a little more sunshine and a little less wind with highs only in the mid to upper 20s. Yikes. And then Thursday, the clouds increase. A quick-moving clipper system will come our way, depositing snow along and south of the 94 corridor. Areas in the far northern valley probably not going to get much at all from this clipper system on Thursday. I think we'll get about 1 to 2 here in the FM area, possibly as much as 3, but I'm leaning more 1 to 2, with slightly higher amounts from Bismarck through Sisseton and down towards the Twin Cities, where they could get 3 to 6. And then we'll see a break Friday into the first half of Saturday, and then a larger system comes our way. It's out in the Pacific right now, so it hasn't gotten on shore yet. Once it does, we'll probably get a better handle on snowfall totals, but we're getting all indications of this weekend system starting late Saturday, lasting through Sunday night into Monday morning. This could be definitely the heaviest snow we've seen so far this winter, and some places picking up anywhere between 6 and 12 inches of snow. Right now, that's favoring areas along and south of the 94 corridor. This will change. The track of the storm will change at least a little bit, but we're seeing trends that some of the latest models are trying to pull this a little bit further north, which would put that 94 corridor in more of a bullseye. And there will be some spots of southern Minnesota that pick up over a foot, it looks like, out of this. So this is going to be a pretty decent-sized storm come late weekend, or latter half of the weekend. So I know a lot of people traveling down to the cities. We've got the big UND game down there, and coming back on Sunday, assuming they play on Sunday, which they should. It could be a mess coming back. So hopefully everybody can enjoy a victory and hunker down, because they're going to get hit pretty hard down to our south.
Okay. Well, let's just keep that in mind, because, I'm not going that direction, so we'll see how it goes.
That's a first. Are you going out west towards Bismarck?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those areas could get hit a little hard. When you're leaving Thursday...
They're not safe either.
Yeah.
They're not safe. No, I don't need to be out there until Monday,
either.
so everything will be better by then, right, guys?
Oh,
fingers crossed.
It'll be getting better.
Justin, I'll lay money that she might not get out there on Monday. Anybody want to take that bet?
I'd put a bet on it.
I'll put a bet you don't make it out there on Monday.
Thanks, guys.
And
Your
You should
confidence
just
in me
plan
is
on
stellar.
having like an at-home bottle of wine day. Just take WAG off. Just relax.
Oh,
Start a fire or something.
so you guys don't need me that day. It doesn't matter what's in my sippy cup. We're all fine.
Well, I mean, you can show up and do the show. I'm not going to stop you. YouTube's got no
All
censor.
right. Well, I like where this is going.
I like it, too.
Awesome.
Seriously, every time. And, we'll bring this up with Gary tomorrow on our LRC special. Has he factored into the LRC model Bridgette's travel? Because I think this could make the model even more accurate than it already is. I think this could really be the defining moment of the LRC model, is if we can somehow plug equations into the model that where Bridgette is traveling and watch that model become even more accurate. I think it's feasible.
We'll give them a 30% worse forecast depending on wherever Bridgette's going.
Gary and I are totally in cahoots.
At least 30%.
Okay,
Oh, man.
hold on. We have a listener question about the weather, you guys. All right.
do.
One of our show listeners says, I have a meeting in Bismarck on Saturday. Can I drive there and back on Saturday, or will that be a concern? What do you got, guys?
He'll be okay on Saturday.
You're fine.
Yeah. Should be okay.
Okay.
Don't come back Saturday night, but
Yeah.
Saturday, you're fine.
Yep, Saturday, you'll be okay.
Like, be back before dark is what you're saying. That's the curfew now?
Right. I would say that's safe. We've got John on line 2. John, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Oh boy, what do you got for us today, John?
Well, I already went by the liquor store and got some beer for the beer fridge and the big snowblower.
Okay.
So I'm ready.
How many cases did you pick up?
Enough. Why? Did you need some, Justin?
Good answer. Enough.
Well, I was going to say, if you want to run down before the storm hits and you be my wingman, in the passenger seat of the big blower, we'll be fine.
Let's do
Look
it
at
up,
that,
John.
a chance to drive equipment,
First
guys.
it was polar vortex, then it was
Oh, yeah,
bombogenesis, then bomb cyclone. Now the new one is thunder snow.
Well, I'm not letting Dean co-pilot. He already put a dent in the combine.
Yeah, that's
Let him loose with an 8,000 horsepower blower. I can see, small children, cattle, cars all being at risk of being sucked up and vaporized. So
you got a good point, John. Well, and John, we've been telling everybody, make sure nobody's used their snowblowers yet this year. Better start that up over the next day or so to make sure that baby's working, because we're going to need it over the weekend.
Well, yeah, but I've been trying to tell people that all winter because gas don't keep more than about 30 to 45 days. I've had stuff that if it sat more than a month and a half, you're pulling on the rope an awful lot trying to get it to go. And most of the time they'll go, but they're really reluctant. That gas has not got a lot of poof left after about 30 days or so when it's just sitting in the bottom of the bowl.
So what would you suggest, John? If they have some gas in their snowblower right now, it's been sitting there all winter, what would you do?
Well, usually what I'll do is depending on how easy it is to pop the spark plug out versus get to the intake of the carburetor, I get a can of ether. I'll just pull the plug out and give her just a little tiny pip. I mean, just a little tiny one. You don't want to blow the head off the darn thing. Or I'll shoot just a little piff in the intake area, and if you can get her to fire, usually it'll suck the bad bunnies through there and get going again. But
the bad bunnies.
You and Steve all winter. Well, I've been telling Steve and Dean all winter. I send them a little text reminder. Hey, go out, just fire it up and let it run. Because you've already put gas in it for the season, and if you let it run for about 5 to 6 minutes here and there every few weeks, generally you'll be pretty trouble free.
Gotcha. Good deal, John. Well, thanks for that 2 cents. Because, like I said, we are going to need that snowblower as we head into this upcoming weekend. We'll have more on the forecast later on. But first, we have to go to our American Ag Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Seeing some pressure in the hog market as we wrap up the trade on Tuesday. You're listening to the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. Well, finding a few triple-digit losses here in the summer month hog contracts. We've been hitting up against some pretty high levels here above that 100 mark here, 101, 104 in July. So maybe bouncing off some technical resistance there in this trade. Cattle futures are quietly mixed here in an overall light day across much of the grain and livestock sector. As things, again, just kind of trading mixed here. Asking prices for cattle been noted in the south at 188 plus and have not been established quite yet here in the north. As we take a look here at some of the cash cattle activity at midday, let's look at box beef prices. Mixed choice up $1.56, $314.89. Select down 6 cents at $302.99 per hundredweight, with a very light movement being seen. Still waiting to see really any cash cattle activity kind of take hold here this week. A cattle on feed report coming up on Friday. The estimates have been shared into the market, and so we might see some positioning ahead of that report here as we go into the back half of the week, and it could be perceived as bearish with placements expected to be higher than a year ago, even though it shouldn't be viewed as such given that January placements were delayed by winter storm challenges. On the hog side, we've lost some of that fundamental support, as I was mentioning, bumping up against some technical resistance. Pork cutout values up 73 cents, 93.89. The lean hog index is up 20, 82.54, and the feeder cattle cash index up 186, 250.86. This is the American Ag Network.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home, and you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-926-1701. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-926-1701. 800-926-1701. That's 800-926-1701.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers here ahead of the close. April hogs down 92, 85.90. March feeder cattle 35 lower, 250.85. April live cattle down 35, 188.22. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Well, welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:23 in the afternoon. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And today's a special day. Today is National Ag Day. So, just in just a heartfelt tribute to all our farmers, we're going to play this little special clip. I'm sure a lot of people remember this. And maybe not. Why is that not? Oh, you got.
Is the slider up?
Yep, no slide. Is the slider up on your end, Jacob?
And on the 8th
there we go.
Day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer. I need somebody with arms strong enough to wrestle a calf and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild. Somebody to call hogs, tame cantankerous machinery, come home hungry, have to wait lunch until his wife's done feeding visiting ladies, then tell the ladies to be sure and come back real soon and mean it. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die, then dry his eyes and say, maybe next year. I need somebody who can shape an axe handle from a persimmon sprout, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of hay, wire, feed sacks, and shoe scraps, who planting time and harvest season will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, and then painin' from tractor back put in another 72 hours. So God made a farmer. God had to have somebody willing to ride the ruts at double speed to get the hay in ahead of the rain clouds and yet stop in midfield and race to help when he sees the first smoke from a neighbor's place. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody strong enough to clear trees and heave bales, yet gentle enough to yean lambs and wean pigs and tend the pink-combed pullets, who will stop his mower for an hour to splint the broken leg of a meadowlark. So God made a farmer. It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straight and not cut corners. Somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake and disc and plow and plant and tie the fleece and strain the milk and replenish the self-feeder and finish a hard week's work with a 5-mile drive to church. Somebody who'd bale a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing, who would laugh and then sigh and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what Dad does. So God made a farmer.
And isn't that just spot on? Boy, Paul Harvey nailed it back in the day.
And just iconic in his voice. Okay, so I don't care who reads it. It never is going to read the same as Paul Harvey doing it. The only challenge I would have to him is, at the end of the day, whether it's his son or her daughter who say they want to be a farmer like mom and dad, because we have lots of farming women out there.
Sure.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah.
We've got, in fact, there's a real trend with more women returning to the farm and taking over the operations. And that's been fantastic to watch, just seeing more women involved in what they do.
Right. And it's hard. It's got to be one of the hardest and longest, hour-wise, the time you put in. It's just, yeah. And not everybody's cut out for it.
It's a commitment.
Yeah,
this not a 40-hour a week type of situation when it comes to that. And, by all means, I think we could easily romanticize what farming looks like. But the reality is the stress, the anxiety is real. There are also the same problems that any other job has when it comes to long hours, stress, physical labor, and frankly, the bad side of it. Emily Sharkey mentioned it yesterday, talking about things like depression, alcoholism. All of those things happen, and they are not easy when it comes to having to have those discussions. But if you want to support a farmer, go buy your groceries. Make sure you buy some made in America cotton jeans or shirts. I mean, those are the ways that we can support agriculture in an everyday situation. This area happened to have been built on the wheat farms, the bonanza farms of the region. And let me just stop there. Bueller, what's a bonanza farm? Anyone?
Did you say a banana farm?
It's a banana farm. Many banana trees.
Bonanza.
Oh, bonanza.
Bonanza.
There's
and
a
it's
show
not the
called
TV show.
There's a show called Bonanza. Shoot, you
There's
caught me there.
Restaurant called Bonanza.
There used to be, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So bonanza farms were mega-sized farms at the time in the late 1800s into the early 1900s. And often they were focusing on wheat. The livestock production with those bonanza farms here in the Red River Valley, you almost got me to do it. Those farms, the only livestock they really focused on was the mule, oxen, and horse that was used as the literal horsepower before mechanization with tractors. And bonanza farms were big business. When you think about some of the area towns, they were named for some of the land companies that were bonanza farms. And in that, I include the Amenia Chafee Land Company, because Amenia, North Dakota was one of the first places to have a telephone system. And they did that in order to be able to communicate across the spread of their farm. Amenia was like their company town where everybody who worked there could go do their shopping. But they brought a lot of innovation to the region. And of course, they were some of the first farms that went to mechanization when it came time to bring in tractors, whether they were steam or wood powered. So a lot of things really happened that you weren't expecting out here in this bonanza farm region.
I didn't know any of that.
Here's my plug for a field trip.
Always learning something on this show.
There is there is a bonanza farm at the Wahpeton exit. It's the Bag Bonanza Farm. I think if you're ever looking for that bit of history about farming in the region, I would go there. It's a restored farm. A lot of the buildings are brought back to their original condition. You might want to stop and see it. It's actually a pretty cool place to visit.
Cool.
Huh.
Cool.
Sounds like a fun little field trip to do.
Yeah. Well, we're coming up on we're coming up on the bottom of the hour, so it's time to pay some more bills here. And when we come back, we've got some ag topics to cover, Bridgette. Anything that stands out?
We didn't get to any yesterday. I have all of ours from yesterday. So including the ones that I talked about even earlier in the morning over on our sister station, The Flag. So I got a lot of things, but there's also a program called Adopt a Cow for our teachers who are listening. And our friend Angie Johnson from NDSU sent me information on their farm safety camps. We'll cover all of that and more, and the weather and a giveaway when we come back.
Hi, it's Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. Join me, Meteorologist Justin Storm, and Ag Director Bridgette Readel for our Spring and Summer Outlook Special, Wednesday, March 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. We'll break down when you can expect this summer's biggest storms and more using the LRC weather forecasting model. Our friend and founder of the LRC, Gary Lezak, will join us, plus we'll take your questions and comments. That's the Spring and Summer Outlook Special, Wednesday, March 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. on WDAY Radio, brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo and Border Plains Ag.
Old Man Winter's moving on out, and it's time to put a spring back in your step. Hi, Teresa here from the local Red Wings shoe store, and I'm here to tell you that Red Wings are not only for hardworking individuals. We've got footwear for every occasion, and here at Red Wings Shoes, we have partnered with Volumental and Superfeed to offer 3D printed orthotics. So stop on in and check it out for yourself at 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wings Shoes for ultimate durability.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. A man who caused a deadly crash in West Fargo has been sentenced to 15 years in prison. Last June, Sebastian Tahirovic drove his van through a red light and crashed into another vehicle. The crash killed 28-year-old Sapphire Johnson. Tahirovic pleaded guilty to criminal vehicular homicide, driving under suspension, and possession of marijuana. The North Dakota chapter of the ACLU is pushing residents to contact Fargo City Commissioners to pressure the commission to not make changes to the public comment period during commission meetings. The group is speaking up after the City Commission recently discussed changing how the comment period works. In the race for North Dakota's sole congressional seat, candidate Julie Fedorchak won't say where she ranks herself when it comes to her conservative values relative to her fellow Republican challengers. But she does say this.
I have very strong conservative stripes. People who know me and have worked with me call me hardcore.
And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is asking the legislature for an additional $226 million. We're told the supplemental budget request would help fund ambulance services in rural communities and increase money for child care and child welfare. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
It's wild. It's unpredictable. It's back. Shooting Star Casino presents Coors PRCA Championship Rodeo. Friday and Saturday, March 22nd and 23rd. 7:30 each night in the Fargo Dome. Top professional contestants from across the nation going head-to-head with the award-winning stock of Mossberger Rodeos in 7 head-slamming, bone-jamming events. And dance each night at Cowboy Jack's. Get tickets at the Fargo Dome box office or Ticketmaster.com. The Coors PRCA Championship Rodeo. March 22nd and 23rd in the Fargo Dome. Where 8 seconds is a lifetime. Sponsored by Holiday Inn Express and Corwin Ram of Fargo.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes, only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Yay!
Happy to have everybody here because I have a weather question in advance of tomorrow, guys. We have a listener who said he's curious for next weekend, end of March into the 1st of April. Do we know what the weather is going to be like heading out to Montana, or do you want to hold that question for tomorrow?
Ding, 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 ding. We will answer that
Okay.
tomorrow on our Weather and Ag in Focus special, or our LRC special. Sorry, we'll be. We can hit that on WAG if you want, or we can wait until the LRC special at 2. But did he give specific dates? He just said the end of the month.
He did. Yep. So pretty much what's next Friday, like the 29th through April 1st, traveling out west to ski country. So I'm going to predict Bozeman.
Okay.
And I'm
Whitefish.
making a note. Yeah. I'm not sure it's quite that far, but I am making a note about that right now. So we remember to answer that question tomorrow for Phil. So we'll have that.
Gotcha. Perfect.
That'll work out good.
Okay.
And if anyone else has any weather questions they want to set ahead of time, you can send them to weather@flagfamily.com. We can get those all queued away and good to answer for tomorrow afternoon.
And you guys want to hit trivia now, or you want to wait till the last our last segment?
We can do trivia now. Might as well bust it on out of the way.
All right. Can you put the answer in Slack, buddy, just so we know what it is? Because you've got all of the questions and answers.
I got
all right.
I got right here.
Okay.
All right. Time for Cheyenne Gardens trivia. We'll ask you a trivia question each and every single day right here on Weather and Ag in Focus. Be the first person to answer it correctly, and you'll win yourself a $10 certificate valid on April 15th and forward for Cheyenne Gardens, just 10 minutes north of Fargo. So your trivia question for today, and it's going to be revolving around petunias. What color is the most sold in the United States? What color petunia is the most sold in the U.S.? 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Dial on in, and we'll take those calls.
And they can win a $10 gift certificate?
$10 gift certificate to Cheyenne Gardens. It'll be valid on April 15th and after.
All right. We've got a caller on line 1. Caller, thank you for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your name and what's your guess?
Arden, yellow.
Yellow is not right, Arden, but thank you for the guess. Again, what was the trivia question again, Justin?
What color petunia is the most common color sold in the United States?
All right. Do you have any petunias in your garden?
I do.
I got one around the onions.
It's been a long time since we've heard that song.
You know what? Let's cue it up and play it. We already played one. We might as well play 2.
Okay.
Get our money's worth.
We've violated all the things today.
Right. And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, caller. Can I get your name and what's your guess?
This is Coop. Red.
Red is not correct, Coop. Sorry. And we've got a caller on line 2. Caller, can I get your name and what is your guess?
My name is Mary, and I'm going to say pink.
That is not correct, Mary. No, good guess though. That's a good guess. All right, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, caller. Can I get your name and what is your guess?
Pink.
Okay, and what's your guess?
My guess is pink.
It is not pink. No, somebody already guessed pink, so it is not pink. We're running out of colors.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of different colors.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of different colors, multicolors, too.
Right. All right, let's go to line 1 here. Caller on line 1, can I get your name and what's your guess?
Sherry.
Sherry, what is your guess?
Purple.
You are correct, Sherry. Congratulations. And did you have to Google it or did you know?
I knew it.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Well, Sherry, we're going to put you on a quick hold here, and our producer, Jacob, will get some more information on how you can get your prize.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Right on.
All right.
Well, that was fun, and that was Cheyenne Gardens Trivia, presented or brought to you by Cheyenne Gardens. Wander, admire, and explore the largest variety of trees, shrubs, and bedding plants in the area. That's Cheyenne Gardens, just 10 minutes north of Fargo. We'll do it again tomorrow, sometime between 1 and 2 for the next 4 weeks.
And Sherry, if Sherry could call back, she hung up.
Did you hang up on her?
No, she hung up before.
Hang up on her?
She hung up before Jacob could get her info. So Sherry, if you could call back, Jacob needs to get your info. So, all right.
Okay. You guys know that my phone is fairly busy during the show as people are sending me things. And
Still trying to get a sponsor
one of our
for it.
Well, I can hope so because this is one of our listeners, and he can watch the live stream. And he said, "What's with these tassel things that are hanging from the roof of your pickup, Bridgette?"
You don't worry about what the tassels are.
Whoa.
So I sent the picture to you guys that can go in the live stream. They're actually, one of them is an FFA button. It says I wore the blue jacket, and it's got state officer and alumni on it. The other one are like little mini North Dakota license plates. But yes, I was not expecting that. So yes, to our listener who sent me that, I will fully expect you now owe me a beer at the local pub because you made me laugh that hard. I had to mute myself.
That's all.
Dean sent me a message. He's like, "What did I miss over there?" Oh, nothing.
Like,
it's all good.
I could see Bridgette losing it on the live stream. I'm thinking, all right, I missed something that Justin said.
I think that was better than the whole name tag situation with the U.S. Soybean Council.
That was a rough
over there
day.
Losing her mind.
Oh man,
that was another day I had to mute myself when Justin was making fun of my name tag. He stuck a Post-it note to himself. Thanks a lot,
no
man.
one important on the other side of the conversation. Just a sitting council member for the soybean.
Yeah, U.S. soybean. Oh, okay. So let's take this just to a slightly serious note, and that is Angie Johnson has let me know with the NDSU Farm and Ranch Safety Specialist that registration's open for the Safety Youth Camps. You guys had a fabulous conversation with her about 2 weeks ago about it. The camp in Minot still has 11 spots. The camp in Devil's Lake has 7, and the camp in Bismarck has 6. Campers must be 13 to 17 years old, and you can go to their link in order to register. I can send it to you if you'd like. Dates in Minot are May 21st to the 23rd, May 29th to the 31st in Devil's Lake, and June 25th to 27th in Bismarck. Really happy to share this. They're going to be doing safe tractor operation, livestock handling, ATVs, including certifications, skid steer tractors, roadway safety, farm safety for first aid and emergencies, the law and how it pertains to those students, farm stress, and farm hazard identification. So lots of things going on. Again, you can register to send your students ages 13 to 17 to the farm safety camp. I'm thinking about sending Justin, but we're going to have to lie about his age a little bit.
I think I could pass if I shaved off the beard and knock a quick 10, 15 years off.
Okay, so you got to get a.
Dean, sorry, buddy. I don't think that's going to work with you.
I took my hat off, and there's no chance. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it ages you like 10 or 15 years.
Justin, you shave that red beard off, you're going to have dimples like all the other redheads, and no one's ever going to believe that you're that age. So it's on your own.
This is
there you
true.
go.
This is true. Well, let's see.
Oh, man.
We had a comment come in earlier while we were having our conversation a few minutes ago. Someone was wondering, when we refer to the 94 corridor, what that means, and we're referring to the Interstate 94 that runs from, well, east and west across the state. So that's what the 94 corridor is the interstate.
And down into Minnesota, too. 94 corridor going into the cities. Yeah. A well-traveled highway, and this time of the year can become a little slick. That's for sure, and that's what we'll be having coming up here on Thursday, and then especially over the weekend. Bridgette, let's hit a couple of ag topics real quick here before we hit our next break. So
what would you like to talk about,
Let's talk
guys?
about the Rural America grocery store. It's a detriment.
Well, it's actually we're losing them, and what's happening. So when you look at what has gone on in the last 10 years, Kansas has lost 20% of their grocery stores, 1 in 5. Nebraska is currently pending legislation in order to provide more grant dollars as well as low interest loans in order to try to keep grocery stores open in rural regions. We're not immune to this in North Dakota, South Dakota, or Minnesota. We have listeners who need to drive 30 miles or more to get to a grocery store, especially if you want more fresh foods. Grocery stores are some of the hardest hit post-pandemic for distribution services, getting trucks to them because there's not always enough labor to bring in new product for the grocery stores. And so on this National Ag Day, I think we really want to support our farmers by going out and buying products. Buy them at your local stores because so many of those stores are the lifeblood of our small communities. Some of them serve as the cafes in the towns, and they're being very creative to try to keep them going. There's a store over in Barnes County that the way they've made it work is they're literally a cooperative. So you own shares in your grocery store in order to try to keep that store functioning. And that's important in so many more places than you might realize. So we want to make sure that people still get service that they need and provided by those local stores. They are really the lifeblood of so many towns. Make sure you spend your Ag Day shopping in your local grocery stores. I think we'd all like to see that happen.
Nice. All right. Well, we're pushing up against the clock here, so we got to take another moment to pay some of Dean's bills again. So when we come back, we got a couple more ag topics, another check on the forecast. And if you got any questions or want to join in on the conversation, feel free to do so. Give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Emails for the program are weather or ag at flagfamily.com. Comment boxes on Facebook and YouTube Live, as well as Acres TV and Bridgette's personal phone. So you can send all of those there, and we'll get those answered in our next segment. Stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. Join me, Meteorologist Justin Storm, and Ag Director Bridgette Readel for our Spring and Summer Outlook Special, Wednesday, March 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. We'll break down when you can expect this summer's biggest storms and more using the LRC weather forecasting model. Our friend and founder of the LRC, Gary Lezak, will join us, plus we'll take your questions and comments. That's the Spring and Summer Outlook Special, Wednesday, March 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. on WDAY Radio, brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo and Border Plains Ag.
What does it mean to be an owner? When you work for Morton Buildings, you become an employee owner through Morton Buildings Employee Stock Ownership Plan. You become the driving force behind the company's vision and goals. You have a passion for what you do and a relentless drive to make Morton Buildings the best it can be. Don't just be an employee, become an owner with Morton Buildings. Visit mortonbuildings.com/careers and join a select group of employee owners who have been focused on success for over a century.
Attention experienced senior level techs with 5 years of experience. Northern Plains Equipment, a certified Case IH dealer in Minot, North Dakota, is looking for you. Join the team and perform quality maintenance and repairs on all types of agricultural equipment. Northern Plains Equipment is a value-led, 100% employee-owned company, offering competitive wages, benefits, and job training. If you're ready to work in a great environment with great people, apply at plainsag.com. Northern Plains Equipment, Inc., proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Ready for a career move with a company that values family and offers fantastic perks? Plains Grain and Agronomy is now hiring. They're looking for Class A truck drivers, custom applicators, and more. Join the team and grow your career in agriculture. Apply online at plainsgrain.com. That's plainsgrain.com. Start your journey with Plains Grain and Agronomy as a Class A truck driver, custom applicator, or one of the many other positions available.
The home-style lunches at Krebs Family Farm Bakery and Coffee Shop are a hit. Every weekday beginning at 11:30, Mary Jane and the crew serve up delicious homemade lunches using family recipes, with a different lunch served each weekday, like ham and scalloped potatoes, cheesy potatoes and kielbasa, or Swedish meatballs, to name a few. And every Friday, you'll find mouth-watering chili and a featured soup. The daily lunch specials are found at KrebsFamilyFarm.com and on Facebook. Krebs Family Farm Bakery and Coffee Shop, 13th Avenue South in Fargo.
During National Ag Week, Satcham Hyam Seed, your local full-service dealer in Page, salutes the men and women in agriculture that keep us going. Agriculture plays an important part in our daily lives and provides almost everything we eat, use, and wear daily, and is increasingly contributing to fuel and other bioproducts. Contact Satcham Hyam Seed for all of your seed requirements, sales, service, and treating, and custom cleaning. Proudly serving area farmers since 1978. Satcham Hyam Seed, online at satchamhyamseed.com.
It's Big Game James McCarty.
And Jay Stenman. And you know what? There's no better place to watch the NCAA tournament games than at Sweet Shots.
We will be there live for the first day of the tourney, March 21st.
Join us from 11 to 1 inside DJ's Lounge.
You can enjoy a $12 lunch combo and a bucket of High Noon for $20 while watching all the games.
Or you can order a bunch of tasty wings and your favorite beverage.
With a TV at every bay, you can watch the games and hit balls all day long.
Join us Thursday from 11 to 1 at DJ's Lounge inside Sweet Shots in Fargo.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Of all the saddest words that I have ever heard, the saddest is the story told me by a bird. He had spent about an hour a-chatting with a flower, and here's the tale the flower told. Oh, I'm a lonely little petunia in an onion patch, an onion patch, an onion patch. I'm
It's been a hot minute since we've heard that song.
Now this is going to be stuck in your head.
All day.
All day. All day in your head, you guys.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Gonna check on the forecast coming up here in a couple of moments. Currently looking at temperatures for the most part mid-30s, windy conditions gusting over 30 out of the northwest. We'll run down all the details in just a few moments, but we still got a few ag topics to get to. And did we want to do another little trivia thing Dean? Or do we want to hold till tomorrow?
We do.
Yeah, we might as well get it out of the way now. You want to do it now?
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
So we've got a pair of tickets to the PRCA rodeo here in town is it Friday or Saturday?
Either or.
The tickets are in my office. I think it's Saturday.
Just pick them up by Friday.
Yeah, you got to pick them up by Friday. So if you want to go to the rodeo, I've got a pair of tickets. Here is the trivia question you have to answer. What's the rankest bull known? Is that correct, Bridgette? I think it's what's the rankest bull known?
Yep. So what is the bull that is widely regarded as
Bridgette broke up, so I think we lost Bridgette.
Yep. What bull was regarded as the rankest of all time? Meaning,
what was its name?
The bull that had to be retired for the good of all.
All right.
Yeah, Bridgette, you keep cutting in and out.
Bridgette,
We'll
so
get you reconnected
welcome to
here.
Weather and Ag in Focus, caller. What is your name and what's your guess?
My name is Mike, and according to Google, it's bodacious.
Oh, that was quick. That's some pretty good fast fingers on Google. All right, Mike, can you hang on real quick? And our producer, Jacob, will get your more information on how you can pick up your tickets. Have fun at the rodeo.
Hey, Jacob, I don't know what happened.
All right. So, congratulations to Mike. And Mike, you'll be going to the rodeo on us. And want to thank you for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. Let's hit. I think we lost Bridgette. So, how about we hit the weather recap here? How's that sound?
That's fine, yeah.
All right. So we've got cloudy skies, or partly to mostly cloudy skies out there with temperatures in the 30s. They're pretty much steady for the rest of the afternoon. Winds are gusting out of the northwest, as Justin said earlier, up to 30. So a breezy afternoon with steady temperatures. Tonight we'll start to break the clouds up. We'll drop down to a low near 10 above, and still breezy out of the northwest. So that'll be producing wind chills just below 0 for tomorrow morning. And then a little more sun, a little less wind for your Wednesday, with highs only in the 20s, mid to upper 20s. And then we've got a couple of snow systems coming our way. The first one hits Thursday evening into Thursday night. So the first half of Thursday will be okay. A quick-moving clipper system bringing about 1 to 2 inches here in the FM area. Hardly anything at all as you go in the northern valley. So Grand Forks might miss out on this altogether. In areas from Bismarck to Sisseton over towards the cities, could pick up anywhere between 3 and 5. Maybe up to 6 inches of snow, but in general about 1 to 2 here in the FM area. And then then we'll get a break on Friday and the first half of Saturday, and Saturday evening, Saturday night, we'll see snow spreading into the area from the west, and that could become heavy as we head into Sunday. In fact, we're getting a lot of indications of 6 or more inches along the I-94 corridor and southward, and we'll see how the models trend over the next couple of days. They have been trending over the last 24 hours to bring a little heavier snow into that I-94 area, and that would impact travel quite a bit Sunday into even Monday morning, as winds will start to pick up with this system on the backside of it on Monday. So we could be dealing with blowing snow being an issue, especially if we get over 6 inches of snow on the ground. Could become quite a problem as we head into Monday. I know a lot of people going down to the cities this weekend for UND hockey, and if they play on Sunday, that trip home on Sunday could get a little bit tricky. Just kind of a heads up if you're heading that way. And there's some indications on some of our models that wherever this heaviest snow band does set up, some areas could get close to a foot. So this is looks like this is going to be the biggest one of the year, and we'll kind of wait and see how it all pans out. But definitely one of the this should be the biggest snow of the year that's heading into the area. Not the Thursday system, Thursday night, but the one over the weekend that could pose some problems. So it's still off in the Pacific. The track of this will probably change, so it's something we'll definitely keep an eye on.
Do you think we'd be giving away the snowblower on Monday?
Oh, I would lay money on it. Absolutely. Yeah. If we didn't, I'd be absolutely surprised. So yeah. We should, no doubt.
Watch it come in at 2.9.
No kidding. Yeah, watch it pull further south, and then we only get just under 3 inches. But we need the moisture, as we were talking earlier. We absolutely need the moisture on this, so that's good news there.
We do.
All right. Well, looks like we got Bridgette back. Welcome back, Bridgette.
I apologize. I just locked up right at the worst time possible. Thank you for doing that trivia question. Yes, the answer really was Bodacious. That is the bull that was known to have been retired just for the safety of all involved. He was quite the rodeo bull, and he, and as well as Yellow Jacket, are probably two of the most famous names in rodeo bull history. People talk about them all the time.
Did anybody die riding Bodacious?
No, I think there was a lot of people being maimed, but I'm not aware that anybody died from that situation.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I know wasn't Yellow Jacket one of Chad Berger's bulls? Are both of them?
Yep. Not both of them, but do you remember our interview with Chad Berger, and that was Berger Bucking Bulls out of Mandan, North Dakota? I believe we had him on last year. And actually coming up here next week, I have one of the NFR's bullfighters. Some of you know them as rodeo clowns. So I'm looking forward to having Nathan join us to talk about how much athleticism there is to outrun 2,000 pounds of mad, which I think is a fair way to describe what it is. 'Cause they're not looking to make friends.
Yeah, I could imagine that they're definitely not. Didn't you ever do that?
No.
Did you ever do the running of the bulls? They do that down in over in Spain, don't they?
I'm not quick enough.
Pamplona.
Yeah. I'd be one of the ones that they gorge and goes flying up in the air like a rodeo clown.
You'd be the reason why everyone else escaped.
That's exactly right.
Thanks for making that easier on all of us. Much appreciated.
Right? Yeah, gotta take
the reason why we all got out of there.
Gotta take one for the team.
Hey, by the way, just a quick shout out for all the teachers who listen. The Discover Dairies Adopt a Cow program has been inviting participants to virtual live chats this spring to culminate their year-long experience. More than 39,000 classrooms have participated. So if you would like to be a part of that, you can check out their YouTube channel. They'll be recorded. You can re-watch them. But Adopt a Cow, the ability to see what's going on at a dairy farm, is probably the highlight of some students' year. So don't forget to be a part of that whenever you can.
Awesome. And that'll wrap it up for Weather and Ag in Focus today.
Spent about an hour.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Jay Thomas Show's coming up next.
I'm a lonely little petunia in an onion patch.
Evan Wolf, president of Laney's. Do you have a faucet that just won't stop dripping? Or maybe you need to replace your garbage disposal? If